Alright, so we are finally going to Ginger Island today, which is nice because that gives us something to do for the entire winter. It does sort of complicate things a little bit, just because we're going to have to go like back and forth every day to deal with wine, or not every day, but every week, to deal with wine and to deal with things like the pumpkins and just like super random farm stuff, so it's not really a problem. It's just like once a week, especially during winter when we're not going to be really growing too much. We are going to grow a little bit of the forage that we've been like saving up or kind of talking about this whole time. That's about it. Like after we do this and get the magnifying glass for the notes, we're pretty much going to head over to Willie's shop, which I guess is at 8 a.m. You can do that now. And that way we can get over to Ginger Island and start setting things up there. I don't really have like a super good plan, like a super solid plan on how we're going to do that in the best way possible. But I guess the main goal is to try and unlock Key's like walnut room thing as soon as possible. So that means we gotta plant stuff to get those, we gotta do the gourmand frog challenge stuff, all the random puzzles, and I don't know what else. I guess we'll kind of see as we go. We'll probably spend a lot of time inside the volcano dungeon, just so we can get like a buildup of shards going on, and also get the rings combined and that kind of stuff, because that's just gonna help us out for pretty much everything that we're doing. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the whole day. Today is just going to be probably a little bit shorter of an episode because it's only going to be one day, and things aren't really going to be sped up too much except for probably the volcano mines and anything that's not on the island, just so we can kind of look more at like a more intense look at what we're doing and kind of think about strategies and stuff. I know some of the main issues with Ginger Island are they're getting the fossils from like randoms, like dig sites and stuff like that. And then like fishing takes a while. I always have like the worst time with that Simon Says like memory game. But I think that's mostly just my own problem. And then like getting banana saplings, because you want to get those pretty early, but it takes a while, so I don't know. That being said, I guess we're going to head over there. I think we have everything we need. We mostly just have stuff to set a farm up, which I went over last episode, and like prismatic shards to upgrade our weapon and tools, and our rings we want. Like nothing too crazy. And we can always go back and forth for like 1,000 gold, so it's not too crazy. But time is kind of our major obstacle when it comes to getting through the volcano. I really want to get the forge unlocked today, and that's kind of a big priority. But I think I always start off my Ginger Island on this like route. I'll scythe all those down and hope I get the mummified frog, and grab the golden walnuts, and then do the bird puzzle off to the side over there. Sometimes you get lucky with the mummified frog on day one, sometimes you don't. It's not really the biggest deal. It's just something you have to turn in later on. And yeah, like I said with this puzzle, I guess I won't explain it, but if you use the predictor, you can get the answer right away. Otherwise, you have to solve the puzzle with the rain birds. And if you want to know the answer, you can comment and I'll respond, but you can also just look it up. I just don't want to ruin it for anybody if they don't specifically know. But I guess if you're watching this, you're going to see a lot of hidden walnuts, like that one where you hit that tree with an axe. So, if you haven't been here yet, and you don't want to spoil this stuff for yourself, I guess this is probably a good time to tune out. The remainder of the episodes will probably be here, so you might have to pick back up on my next challenge, which I know somebody had commented they already have to do that, which is kind of a bummer, but I get it. You don't want to like spoil this stuff for yourself. Because a lot of these are pretty well hidden, and if you want to do all the bird hints and stuff like that, this kind of might ruin that for you. But yeah, just kind of, this is always my route. I don't know if it's the most efficient. I basically, like, the first step is getting as many walnuts as I need to open up the farm area so I can sleep here overnight and get started a little bit earlier tomorrow. Sometimes it's hard to get through the volcano dungeon at night, on the first day, just because it's kind of long, and if you get a bad layout, it's hard to navigate through. And there's not really a great strategy for the volcano mines, aside from speed boosts. Make sure you have your watering can, and if it's your first time through, pretty much just run and ignore everything so you can open the shortcut to the forge. And that's really it. So yeah, I'm already going in with 18 golden walnuts. I need 10 to move the little turtle that blocks the way, and then 20 to open up the actual farmhouse, I think. And yeah, I'm just killing everything because I'm relatively confident I can get through this thing in one go. And I also want those shards. Some of the monsters drop shards a lot more often than others. Like the little magma sprites or spirits, they drop them pretty often. But you don't get a ton from anybody else, so. I can't even remember what the shards are called. Cinder shards? I just call them shards. But yeah, you get a certain number from enemies. Or sorry, let's back to golden walnuts. For the walnuts, you get a certain number from enemies and a certain number from destroying the rocks, as well as a certain number from breaking those little barrel things. So I'll be breaking all those, breaking as many valuable rocks as I can, and probably killing a decent amount of enemies until I feel like I need to really speed up. I think this is probably one of the easier mines to die in, just because you can get really quickly overwhelmed by the magma sprites. Spirits? I don't know, it doesn't matter. The little flying dudes. Especially once the little orange ones slow you down, the yellowish orange ones. So it's probably a good idea to carry a lot of food, just like skull caverns. The only difference is you don't have a really quick escape like you do in skull caverns. I can't just build a ladder and get out of here. I have to actually run away, so speed is even more of a friend in this one. And then don't do, something I do a lot is I'll try to kill those little lava dudes, but I won't have inventory space. So if they do end up dropping a dragon tooth, it just falls right into the lava, and that's always a tremendous bummer. But I also picked up a couple recipes from that dude. You can only talk to him if you have the Dwarven translation guide. And he sells ginger ale as well as the totem recipe, so I can get here faster. And then with these chests, I'm only looking for 2 items, and that's a golden walnut, which I just got. I think you can only get one of them. And then a Java ring. And I can't remember which chest they come out of. There's 2 different chests. There's the one I just opened, the plain one. And then there's a pinkish red one, which is the rarer of the 2. And so you just have to make sure, or I guess I don't know which one the Java one comes out of, but make sure you check the chests. That's why you want to definitely bring your watering can too, because sometimes they're inaccessible. But yeah, the rest of this thing I'm just going to run through. And there's always a chest on the 9th level, so you at least get 1 guaranteed chest per run. I guess that's something. And then, I don't know, it might be worth it taking screenshots of these larger floors. And that ring I think is the Soul Sapper ring, which is, for me, totally worthless, but I don't have the inventory space for it. And then I guess the last thing is I really want to make sure I have 40 cinder shards by the end of this, so I can get both my rings combined. And anything extra I'll use for my hammer enchant, and for the emerald and ruby speed and power boosts for the hammer. And that's it. Yesterday I just harvested some potatoes for the first time, which unfortunately was a mistake because they weren't quite ready yet. They were a little bit too young, so I got some really small potatoes, but I don't know, it's kind of exciting getting our first actual like potato harvest ever. I've never grown them before, so. I also injured myself in the process. Somehow, I don't know, I injured my hand, which is like the craziest thing to do from picking potatoes out of the ground. But oh well. So I still haven't done an update on the garden. I really need to do that, but I've been kind of more focused on like actually dealing with pests and stuff than making documentation of it all. But yeah, so I got enough cinder shards to do both my rings, and I had enough time to basically do everything I needed to do here. So I'm gonna head back and get these last few walnuts. This takes so long. If you're like me and you haven't updated or upgraded your watering can, this part takes forever. Like I was a little bit worried I wouldn't be able to do this and get back, just because it takes so long to actually like do this without animation canceling. So if you've upgraded your watering can, it's a lot better. So keep that in mind. But yeah, 29 walnuts, which is pretty good. I don't know if we have enough. Man, maybe we don't get to sleep here tonight. I just don't remember how much it costs for that turtle to move. So I don't know, we might cut it close. It's not the biggest deal if you don't sleep here night one, but this route, I don't know, it feels chaotic to me, but I guess overall it's relatively efficient. Assuming we actually can sleep here. And if we can sleep here, then tomorrow morning we can get the actual farm aspect set up and explore a little bit more of the rest of the island. And yeah, so I'm one walnut shy. So I know there's a couple down here. And that's a lucky thing to get because these little muscle rocks are the worst. And I feel like they always are the last thing I need. Because there's like 4 or 5 walnuts that you get from those. And it seems totally random, so sometimes you just don't get them for a really long time. So I was lucky enough to get one so far. And hopefully I'll get all the ones I need. I don't know how easy it is to get 100 walnuts on your first year here, because I know you don't get the ones from the quest, because you can't do the quest on your first year. But I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so we got the farmhouse, which means we can sleep here. So tomorrow we'll be able to jump right back in and keep getting set up. And so yeah, this is a little bit shorter of an episode, and I'm sorry for that, but I wanted to add another day, but the next day is like another one that kind of requires a lot of explanation too. So I didn't want to make one that was like 30 minutes. So I went the opposite way. And we also sold all our wine. So now we have like a little over 2 million gold, which isn't bad for the first batch. So at this pace, hopefully we can make another couple million before the end of the year. Anyway, I will see you folks next time. Bye.